Hey, how you doing? Just want to talk about gang stalking and how you don't recognize people anymore, and how everyone's changed from this program that we're living in, and everyone's being manipulated in some sort of way in your targeting, and everyone you come across is going to treat you in like this negative way and try to gaslight you, and they try to use this predictive programming to you know um discredit you and to humiliate you. And they're running their programs like Stasi, Eastern Stars, Monsterhood. They've got COINTELPRO, um, community policing, all types of like organisations. Running the, and don't forget the secret societies as well that are also running it. And it's all involved in one big thing, and they've brainwashed the minds of all your friends and all your family, and they get used in your targeting. And everything is manipulated and they try to synchronize you with everyone around you, even though you're isolated and alone. They try to manipulate you some way, and be around you, and always like making you feel alone, and that even though you're surrounded by gang stalkers and who are gang stalking you. And everybody in the program is being used, the government workers, the people at the shops, everything. You're bringing businesses to these people and that as well in your targeting, right? And like, because you're a major player in this, in synchronization with everything that you come across. And people are trying to synchronize with you everywhere you go. You understand? And then you're always going to have these organized scenarios that are taking place. And, it's all orchestrated in some sort of way for you to see. You're meant to see certain things when you go outside, and then you go and talk to other people. You're meant to see that. But like, believe me, it's all predictive programming, and a lot of people don't know how they're even doing it. But it's just like, believe me, it's all predictive programming. It's an algorithm. It's a type of algorithm, and it's all being played out with this AI and all the technology. And people are just trying to work you out and synchronize with you everywhere you go. And they'll use these humiliating gaslighting techniques to try to make you look bad in front of everybody, and they'll just be trying all kinds of manipulation tactics. And everyone, all your friends and all that, they're just standing back, like watching you go through all this gang stalking, and you're trying to process it in your mind, and how everything's one big betrayal, and how everything's like, being manipulated on a level like your loyalty even, doesn't matter anymore. You've been so loyal to people, and helpful, and like, just being there for one another, and they all of a sudden they don't want you there anymore, and everything's like, being manipulated, and you know and and just gang stalking program is the worst program a person can be in, because everything is being used against him, you know and like everywhere you go, the cat down the road's being used. Everything's orchestrated in some sort of way for you to see, and people, they behave like these robots, you know what I mean, that are out on patrol, and being told what to do by handlers and by people all around them and things. And they're trying to synchronize with everything around them, you understand? And when a TI comes in the scene, on the scene, they all pull out their phones, and they're all using their technology and acting very weird and very odd, towards you and that. And they're just real sus, and That's how you know you're in the program and stuff. And people are being manipulated on a massive scale. And I get followed by these invisible people, right? And they broadcast everything. Like they're on my damn dick everywhere. And they broadcast things out to everyone in the neighborhood, not to help me, not to communicate with me on some like normal level where, we're just saying hello to each other, simple things like that. It's They want to create this paranoia and fear inside people, and not to care, and to not like to hate people, and to always like be weary of people, and always like be suspect of people. And that's how they want you to feel all the time, and play with your emotions and play with all your feelings, and try to make you look like this bad person, when all you've been trying to do is survive the system that's collapsed on top of your head as a person. This whole friggin' system they tried to collapse on me, but it's going to collapse on them too one of these days. And, the whole system's going to collapse. It's designed that way for everything to fail and everything to come to an end in some sort of way, for this new world order to begin. And, like people are saying how people have changed and they act like demons and things like that, It's because they've been programmed, and they've all been manipulated to target you, and they're all like being told by handlers and all types of organizations and things like that, because everyone is an agent, and that's why they act demonic and aggressive towards you and things like that, because they don't want to give themselves up, that as well. They don't want to give themselves up, and they don't want to tell you the big secret about gang stalking and stuff like that. Nobody's going to tell you about it, They're just in your mind how they're just going to plot against you, pretty much, and it's not to help you. It's not unicorns and rainbows. It's always fear and hatred and things like that, to try to bring out of people. Because the whole system's based on trauma-based mind control. It's like MK Ultra trauma-based mind control. And everyone's been manipulated like this. And they're in this monsterhood. They're in this army. It's military. It's militarized. Everything you see has a specific order that it follows. And it's like being manipulated on a massive level. And anyway, just want to talk about how everybody's changed, and the reason why is, everything's like with this AI and the army and the monster and all these secret societies that I'm talking about. And your friends and family are there, to manipulate you, because they're all part of it. They're all agents. And with that being said, take care.